What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Why podcast with Dwyane Wade. Today, I am honored to be able to have someone I call a friend, someone I admire, and someone who's one of the greatest at what she does. Everybody, please welcome Lindsey Vonn.
Oh,
hello,
thanks.
Lindsey.
How are
How you doing?
Thanks for having me.
Do you see how calm that was?
That was nice.
Now I want to get to the real talk.
Okay, now we're getting serious. That was a nice, easy layup, and now we're going straight in.
Nice. Okay. Welcome you to. Thank you for coming to my office.
I mean, what an office!
What do you think about? What do you think about those?
I love gold, so I'm digging it.
I know you are.
I
know you are.
It's
champ.
cool. I'm onto it.
Yeah, we're gonna get to all your gold that you have, but first, I like to always start off the interview, and I like to talk about the last time that I seen my guests. And so the last time I seen you was Art Basel in Miami, and I know why I was out there. Let's talk about why you were out there. Let's talk about why you were out there. What were you doing at Art Basel out there?
Well, I live there now. I live in Miami. I'm literally the most I'm ever in any one place per year is maybe 100 days.
Yeah.
Like this year, I think I'm racking up 107.
So why are you not anywhere? Let's talk about the brand and the business
I'm trying to keep up
Lindsey
with you.
Vonn.
You know, it's a hard world out there, and I'm just trying to keep up with D Wade. It's hard.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I am. I'm not even as much as I'm joking, I'm dead serious. You're a fucking boss, and you're an owner of an NBA team, and
WNBA as well. WNBA.
Yeah, and WNBA and the Real Salt Lake, and you're
in
your wines and all these things, and I feel so insignificant. So I'm just trying to keep up with you.
Okay,
you're making me feel. It's like this is like.
I actually put these up because I knew you were coming, and I was like, "Listen, Lindsey is coming, and she
Are you
has
sure they're not there all the time."
These are new.
Really?
Yes, you're the first interview shiny. In my office. This is the first time these trophies been up.
That means a lot. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I saw some Art Basel. I saw was it like a baby blue Range Rover or something you was in front of? What were you in front of?
Oh yeah, that was an so I'm sponsored by.
There we go. Let's talk about your partnerships.
Okay, my partnerships.
So in Miami, what does it consist of? What you going down there?
With Rolex, I was with Land Rover.
So you got a Rolex deal. You got a Land Rover deal.
Yep. Red Bull. Idorsia. I got my unique goggle company, my head ski line. Did a Gucci collab last year.
And you got time to do what outside of that?
Well, I'm just, I'm not an NBA or WNBA owner yet, so.
Yeah.
Well, I am. I do own a little tiny minuscule piece of LAFC, and also with Real Salt Lake.
Really?
Yeah. So you didn't even know.
I did not know that.
You're so big time. You didn't even know.
Our percentage is
We're
about
on the same team. I just, Ryan invited you to the opening of the facility, and I was not. So.
So, in all these partnerships that you have that takes all your time away, what do they consist of? Talk to us about what do you do?
Well, I mean, I don't do any brand deals that I don't believe in or products that I don't use.
Now, is that just
it's
what you say to the media?
That's true. Okay. No, all my relationships are very long-standing. So I've been with Rolex since 2009. Wow. Red Bull since I was 20 years old, which we're not going to count how many years that is, but it's a few. Under Armour, I was pretty much one of the first female athletes and the longest standing athlete, almost 20 years with them. So I pick brands that believe in me as much as I believe in them. Ooh. And I want to build a long lasting relationship.
I pick brands.
I pick brands.
See, that was a bar right there, because most brands have to find them and come to them. You said I pick brands.
I mean,
that's the level of Lindsey Vonn right there. You picking brands. I love that.
I'm trying. I mean, there's definitely a lot of years where I didn't pick the brands, but I think I was careful with my choices.
Yeah.
There's definitely, especially in the middle to end of my career, there's a lot of brands that were coming at me with a lot of money, but they weren't in line with who I was as a person. Yeah. So I didn't go with them.
So Lindsey and I, we joke a lot. We have a great relationship where we joke on each other a lot, and we talk about each other's accomplishments and all these things. But in retirement, we retired around the same time. Right? We got honored at the SB.
Yeah.
Shout out to the SB.
Grunk, and then Grunk,
and then
went
Grunk
back.
came back. Yeah, but I had a lot of surgeries. You've had a lot of surgeries. We couldn't just go back.
Yeah, you're like bone on bone. I'm bone on bone.
Yeah, I'm bone on bone.
Yeah, both knees, one knee.
Well,
both?
I think both, but like one is really like knee replacement. The other one is because of compensation.
I got your guy. I got a guy for the replacement.
Okay.
When you're ready.
Hopefully 20 years from now.
Really? No, I think it's, well.
Would you get one early? Would you get a knee replacement?
I have a schedule for end of March. Yeah. I honestly, I had a preparation surgery a couple months ago for the replacement, but it went really well. I did some cleanup, got a lot of osteophytes, which is like bone calluses out of there, and it feels pretty good. So I'm gonna get another injection on Monday, and we'll see.
Okay, we need to talk.
Yeah, we
need to talk.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought that up because I personally know how many surgeries, like, I mean, every time, like, you've had ACL, you have MCL, you've had all meniscus, you've had all the worst surgeries that you can, surgery you can have in your knee.
Yeah.
But in the midst of that, I still see you tossing tires. I still see you going like you get low. Like, I can't bend my knee like that. Like, so what do you do in the midst of your rehab? What makes your rehab so special where you can still be an athlete when I can't be an athlete no more?
Did you do your rehab?
I mean, maybe I didn't. What did your rehab consist of?
Range of motion. That's like the number one thing. I still work on that today.
Like what? Like what kind of what do you do?
I need to like jam it. Like I need to jam my knee and make it bend. You know, I do it every day. I straighten it, I bend it. I just move my kneecap around. Like that stuff, if you don't continue to if you don't maintain that.
The scar tissue builds up and all that. That's what's up in my knee, like a scar tissue.
And that's why I get cleanups all the time. Because it just keeps building. And then you can't bend your knee, and then you can't go as low as I can go. Then where are you at?
I get cleanups. But you're not scared to go under and get as many. How many surgeries have you had?
I had stopped counting after 2 hands. It's just why I count.
And you're not scared to go under the knife and get a cleanup? Like, if you got to get it done, you like, let's get it done.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've got the best in the world making me feel better. Every time I go in, it's for a reason. I have a problem. I need it fixed. It's like, you know, you take your car into the shop to get it tuned up. I need a tune-up.
Yeah.
You know, I just happen to be unconscious.
Dang.
Well, I'm getting tuned up.
I'm so scared of the tune-ups, though.
Why? It's great. You sleep great.
Well, you lose all your muscle mass in your legs. Let's talk about that.
Okay. No.
From surgery.
No. Yes, you do. But cleanups, you don't lose that much muscle mass.
Okay.
You got to do some e-stim, just some literally just like quad activations, holding for 30 to 60 seconds, like easy stuff. It's honestly really basic, but that'll keep your tone. And also blood flow restriction is helpful too. Like
land BFR. With your feet up?
I didn't do it when I was competing, but I'm doing it now. It's like it's this machine that kind of restricts your blood flow.
Oh, yes. I know.
Pump it up. Yeah.
Yes,
so it helps maintain your muscle mass.
Okay.
So those are easy things. But honestly, like I'm doing stuff the next day after cleanup.
Okay.
You're going to the wrong people, man.
I haven't had it since I've been done planned, but honestly, we will talk about it.
Get a quick cleanup. Honestly, it'd be like a 30-minute surgery and you'd be pumped.
All right.
You just don't know the right person.
So
I don't know why you didn't call me, your friend.
Well, I should have called you because I remember you had one of the ugliest accidents I've ever seen.
I was waiting for what was at the end of that.
Yeah, it was just one of the ugliest accidents ever, and you tore a lot of things.
A lot of things, so many things. Yeah.
Can we go back to that? I'm sorry to go back there. Can we go back to that?
Oh, I don't care.
Okay. Can you take us back there?
Yeah.
What year was it?
2013 was my first. It kind of set like that was the first domino to fall, and after that, it was like a series of unfortunate events, a lot of surgeries, a lot of injuries, but. My first crash that was really bad, I tore my MCL off the bone, which is hard to do. My ACL, and I had a tibia plateau fracture. My meniscus was okay. Some small tears, but mainly the big thing was the MCL.
Yeah.
So I had to repair both of those. The MCL is one of the ligaments that has the most blood flow, so it heals fast. But because it was off the bone, then it made it more complicated. So it's a little nitty gritty, but it took me a while. And then I blew it out then 9 months later again. I had a brace on and everything. I had done all the right things, but in ski racing, it's like one small little thing can go wrong and you crash, you're in the fences and your leg's in like a pretzel.
So for everybody out there, if I didn't start off saying it, I mean, Lindsey is one of the greatest skiers of our time. She's legendary. It's little girls right now growing up with pictures and photos and everything of Lindsey Vonn around their room. And even though she don't want that, she's the GOAT as we sit here today. How do you get to the point where you are not like I skied one time and I'm never going back again? How do you get over
You
the fear?
didn't go skiing with me.
The perfect
I would
exactly.
help you.
I am not going skiing with you.
No, I would help you.
No, I don't believe that.
I would make fun of you, but
exactly.
I would also help you. I would also help you.
But I got like it's hard for me to break with this bone on bone on this left knee. It's hard for me to do that pizza thing they talk about.
Oh yeah, like, that's a little torque.
Yeah, it hurt.
Yeah, we need to do a cleanup, and then I'll get your quads a little stronger, and then we'll go, and I'll get you the right setup.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Are you sure?
I like to have drinks.
You could have your wine, and then you'd be loosened up, and then your joints.
No, it's too cold.
I'll give you that. I hate the cold.
I lost my glove.
You lost your glove?
My hand was freezing.
You need like the kid thing where it snaps on your jacket so you don't lose it.
You're right. So how do you get to the point of, that is, for everybody who's never skied before and is not into it, it's one of the, it's life-threatening every time you come downhill.
You could die, yeah.
Yeah, you can die. Look at you. You can die, yeah.
You could die.
So you can die. How do you pick up a sport?
Well, how do you drive a car? Exactly. You could die driving a car. You still drive a car.
Yeah, that was
exactly.
That was
I know,
great.
right?
That was good.
I love skiing fast. That's what excites me.
Where did it come from?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I love skiing because I just love skiing. Like when I was a kid, it was the only thing my family did together.
Yeah.
We didn't go to the beach. We didn't really have any money for those kinds of things. So, we'd jump in my grandfather's old Suburban and we'd drive to Colorado and we all go skiing.
Yeah.
And, when I started racing, I honestly wasn't very fast. I just loved, to do it. And then I became better. And then I decided I wanted to be in the Olympics. And then I started working hard and I started really going fast. And then I really loved it.
How do you go fast? You wasn't for me, someone who don't know, I just think if you're going downhill, you're going fast.
So it's kind of like driving a car. Like when you put your foot on the gas pedal, you're going faster, right? For me, I just point my tips downhill and I go faster. Like I can gauge how fast I'm going or not. It's kind of like that. And then the way I see, when you're racing, you see a line. It's very similar to a road, like a race, like a Formula One track where I see, the line that I want to take and where I want to accelerate or decelerate and, what I need to hit or avoid.
Yeah. Okay. I for everybody out there, I didn't do this in the beginning, so I want to make sure I do it now. So in my wanting to do a podcast and wanting to have conversations with people that I admire and adore and that is great, I've been changing it up every time, trying to figure out and trying to find it. And in the midst of that, I've added a sideline guy.
Okay.
Over here. His name is Bob Metellus.
How you doing?
Hey, Bob.
That
was a deep hi.
It was hey, I didn't say Barry White was over there. I said Bob Metellus was over there.
It's like a mood. It's a vibe in here.
Hey. So we call him the fly on the wall.
Fly on the wall.
Even though he has a camera looking at him right now, he will not be on screen. He's just a fly on the wall. He's a voice that you will hear. But he's actually, someone on the sideline that I look at to help me maybe call a timeout sometime. But also, too, Bob has some great questions as well. Yeah. So I'm going to take this moment. Bob, what you got for us as we take our first break?
So when was the moment you realized you were going to be nice? When did you realize you were going to be special?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was always my dream, right? When you have a dream to be professional, my dream is to be an Olympian. Mm-hmm. I didn't think I was going to be anything other than an Olympian. And then once I made it to the Olympics and I was 17, then it's, okay, what's the next goal? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like you're competitive and you want to be better every time. And so it was, one thing after the next, and I just got better and better and, winning more and more. And I didn't think I was special. I just loved what I was doing and I strived to always be better. And by the end, it was pretty good.
You think you can be great without loving what you're doing?
Not truly. I mean, I think I've met a lot of athletes that are really good at what they do.
Yeah.
But they're not great because they really don't have that deep inner passion for it.
Yeah.
And they could have won so much more if they had that passion. And I think it has to come a lot of parents push their kids into sports, and again, they're naturally gifted. They love to do it, but the passion's not there.
Yeah.
And eventually they don't like it. I've seen a lot of athletes retire way before their time because they just don't enjoy it.
Well, it's a lot of things that can take the enjoyment out, the love out when you're
a lot of things,
when you're going through the journey.
Oh yeah, a lot. A lot of things.
Like when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I want to be this. Or, I'm gonna be this. When you're a kid, you say, I'm gonna be this. I'm like my son. He'll say, oh, I'm gonna be an NBA. It's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Then you got to actually do the work to get an NBA, right? Yeah. One of the things I think is tough for kids to understand is this notion of hard work. What is your version? Like when kids think they're working hard, they think, oh, I went to practice, I worked with the team, and I'm doing it again and again. What did you do when you talk about hard work? Like, what was your regimen like?
Well, I was one of those kids that I thought I was working hard until I realized that I wasn't.
Yeah.
I think so much of life is based on your perception and what you've experienced to make you think that way. And so when I was younger, I loved skiing. So I was the first one on the hill and the last one off the hill. And I thought that was hard work. That's what I needed to do to be better. And I did. I got better. But then there was a point where I wasn't getting better. And then other kids started to get faster. And I had to figure out, okay, what can I do now? And I realized that, well, I wasn't really working that hard in the gym. I was doing what I was told to do, but nothing more.
Right.
And so I had this kind of come to Jesus with my dad. And he's like, you need to figure out, what you really want. And so we actually got a loan from my ski company to hire a trainer. I went to Monaco. I know it sounds really fancy, but it was absolutely not. It really sounds fancy.
You ain't go to the water side of Monaco, everybody.
No. I had a Polish trainer who I was sharing a 1-bedroom apartment with wow. him and his girlfriend. They gave me the bed and they slept on the couch.
Wow.
I spent 2 summers there and parts of the winter. It was hell on earth. It was like military camp.
How old were you?
I was 17, 18, part of 19. And I mean, it was like tearing you down to build you back up kind of thing. And what I thought was hard work was so far from it. And he showed me like how far I could push my body. And after that moment, it was like nothing could be as hard as this. He gave me this shitty old bike that had like 2 gears, and he would drive behind me as I had to climb up the mountain, and he wouldn't let me stop. Like it was like, don't give her water. Like it was pretty aggressive. I'm not gonna lie, but
it was like Rocky Balboa training.
No, seriously, it was like run until I tell you to stop.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what does that mean? Can I stop now?
And you did it because you loved it?
Because I wanted to be better, and I knew it was either I do this and I get better, or I do this, I don't, and I quit.
Yeah.
Those was like the only 2 options.
Yeah.
And he was the best at the time. He coached a lot of great champions, and they were also in the gym with me at the time. So I got to see what they were doing. And it opened my eyes. It changed my perspective. It changed how I viewed working out. It changed how I viewed, myself and what I'm capable of. And that those types of moments really help you dig deep when you have hard times. Okay, I've been through worse. I can get through it.
Oh yeah, I remember. I was telling him this was later in my career. We were playing Toronto in the playoffs, and we had it was game 4, and we ended up going into overtime. Anyway, I was tired. I was so tired. I had nothing. Right, I thought I had nothing. Yeah. And it was a moment on the court where I saw my trainer sitting in the seats that I had, my courtside seats, and I looked at him, and he looked at me in my eyes. There was no word said, but when I looked at him, I just saw all the work that I put in over the summer, like all the climbs, all the stairs, all the early 5 a.m. wake ups, and I was like, "You do have more."
Yeah.
And I ended up having 38, and so forth and so on. We ended up
exactly,
winning. But like more
out.
Came from that, right?
Yeah.
And so you find that inner from your work really comes from here, right? Yeah. From your work. So I definitely understand that.
Yeah, you get it.
One thing I know about you in our time of becoming friends is family is important. Family is very important to you. And I know your sister, Car.
Yeah.
Shout out to Car. She's amazing. But I've talked to Car about, like, you know, in a joking way, I'm like, so how did Lindsey get so much better than you?
No, don't say that to her. You don't want to say that to her. Oh, man. No. She's like, I could have been great.
Right. So why? Okay, so y'all grow up as a family.
Yeah.
You grow up, Car is into skiing and the whole family. This is something y'all doing.
Yeah.
How is that when you go from, you know, some y'all like doing, some of the family do, to, oh, Lindsey's getting better?
I mean, I'm 4 years older than Karin, and I'm 6 years older than the triplets. So the youngest 3 are triplets. And it was definitely something where we all skied growing up. And Karin and I and my one brother, Reed, were the only ones that actually liked racing. And my dad likes to joke that Car and I, we eat raw meat for breakfast. Like, we're hungry. We're going to seize every day. And the others, you know, not as much.
Okay.
So, you know, me and Car are definitely on like another level competitively, you know. And so for some reason, when we moved to Colorado, she made some friends and decided that she didn't want to race anymore. She went back to Minnesota, hadn't skied in like 4 years, and then was state champ. So, and she's like, oh, shoot, I should have kept going.
I might have made the wrong decision.
Yeah. And I was like, it was... And so she hangs on to that. Also, my dad likes to say that she was more talented than I was. I think he likes to just jab me a little bit.
Yeah. But like, you worked harder, but she was more talented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm here. So
that's that inner sister, like, sibling, like
that's sibling rivalry right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We love each other, but I could still beat them on the mountain. They all know that. Yeah. My brother thinks he can, but he cannot.
So who's the coolest person you've been on the mountain with? Like, when you was like, I can't believe I'm out here with this person.
I mean, a lot of people, like Whitney Wolf Hurd. She's a boss. Bounded Bumble, Tinder.
Okay.
She's young boss.
Young boss.
I love entrepreneurs. I think it's so hard to do what she's done. And she rips. She's a really good skier.
Really? She grew up skiing?
Really shocking. She is like a 4-year-old kid or 3-year-old. And he is... Like, I would be shocked and amazed if he wasn't like a champion skier one day. You know,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but as a one-time skier, what I did not appreciate is seeing them 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old kids skiing down that hill.
They're Gumby. They can crash and be literally a pretzel, and they're fine. You just give them some hot chocolate and send them on their way.
So, Bob, I'm skiing.
That's what I did.
And I'm going down. I'm nervous. I mean, my whole life is flashing at every second. And I see these young kids just flying by me. And I felt like they were laughing at me. Like, I think when I was holding a dog, like, it was insane. And I was sitting there trying not to, like, not lose my life. And this 3-year-old just flying down. It's amazing.
Oh, I did ski with Eli Manning.
Was that cool?
It was indoors in the ski dome in New Jersey.
Okay.
At the Dream. It was not a dream. Skiing indoors is not a dream.
Why not?
It's just not. It's you're in a freezer. It's a man-made freezer.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not a dream.
No. But it was funny. I mean, I don't know. I like skiing with people. Like, I know you don't want to ski with me, but you really should. We would have a lot of fun. I don't stress. Like, I'm not going to nitpick you. I will make fun of you, obviously.
Would you give me lessons first? Or would you just get up?
No, I'll give you lessons. And then once you were sufficient, then I would make fun of you. I would give you. It would be soft, like, you know.
You still have your place in Utah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I told you.
All right, we'll talk about this offline. Maybe one time I'm in Utah in the winter.
Okay.
We'll think about taking lessons.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right.
Okay. I'm ready.
No, I'm not. So, so obviously I have all these trophies back here. And like I said, I even try to shine them for you.
They're very shiny, and
Thank you.
They're large. I think basketball does a better job of trophies than skiing.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're, I don't know. We just need to show.
You're big time. I know.
We just need to show something. Yeah. I don't know what it is. But you are not a stranger to winning. Talk to me about your obsession, because I know it became an obsession to winning. So was it your first win?
Takes one to know one.
Yeah, I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
So was it when you forgot your first win, you became obsessed, or what? Like, what was your obsession to winning, and where did it start?
I mean, I actually really liked winning when I was a kid, because I was probably like 10, 11, and I was beating kids that were like 14, 15. I was beating all the kids that made fun of me, and I really enjoyed that.
Sounds good.
I didn't talk much when I was younger. I just didn't, again, I was racing with kids that were a lot older than me, and at that age, there was such a social gap that I didn't know what my place was, and so my place was skiing fast. And so when I won, that gave me like a seat at the table. So that's when I really loved it, because that was my way of being like different and cool. I was not that cool.
Which you are. You're different and cool.
I mean, I guess.
None of us are that cool until we become different and cool. Like I wasn't cool until I was, walk with three Larry
Are you
O'Brien.
probably always cool? Yeah.
No, I was like real square and real quiet and real nerdish, but not nerd like smart, nerd like just
that was me.
To himself.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Not cool at all.
I don't believe that entirely, but okay.
No, then
I'll take it.
Sports helped me become
exactly
come out of my shell.
Okay,
yeah.
Out of your shell.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's. I don't know if I ever came really out of my shell, but I definitely found my confidence.
Yeah,
like a lot more confident because of winning.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, it only became an obsession when it was on the bigger stages, and I liked trying to one up myself. Like it was kind of a bet I made with myself. Like, how many can you win? You know, what's the next one? And
so you were competing against yourself. I mean, I know you were competing against the field, of course. But
it was always me against myself, because there was no one harsher. There's no harsher critic than myself.
I feel like you're very hard.
I am
very harsh and very hard.
Yeah,
on yourself.
But not on other people, just on myself.
Just on yourself. Yeah.
I'm pretty chill with everyone else. I expect a lot of myself. It probably comes from like my family and my grandparents and my parents, and I'll probably need to go to a psychologist for that. But yeah, I'm hard on myself. That's for another time. This is another room with another person.
That's for another book.
Another book called Inside My Head that you don't want to be in there.
So how many medals and how many awards? Like, what do you have? Like, I can say, I have 3 champions. I have 3 NBA championships. I have this. I have that. How many do you have? Do you even know how many medals and trophies and all you have?
Well, I have 82 World Cup wins and 20 titles, but I can't tell you how many titles or what.
What'd you say? You said 82 what?
World Cup wins.
82 World Cup wins. And do you get a medal for all those things, or you get a trophy for those things? You get money? What you get?
Well, not much money. I'll tell you that. Not like the NBA. No. Definitely not like the NBA. Each race is different. So they decide, like, I've gotten the most random things. I've gotten a cow. A live cow.
What?
I know. Yeah, it's skiing. It's
as the grand prize?
Yep. And it motivated me. I was like, there's a cow in the finish
area. Did it have milk?
And I'm going to fucking win this cow.
Did the cow have milk? Like, was it
Yeah. No, it was a special French cow from this very particular part of France that makes a very particular cheese. And so I won.
Yeah.
And, there's this whole prize ceremony, and they're like, okay, and here's a check and some cheese. And it was like a promo deal, and I'm like, whoa,
check
whoa.
and some cheese.
I'm like, first of all,
check is cheese, by the way.
Check.
Just throw it out there.
There was a 50 kilo wheel of cheese and a check.
Cheese stank too.
It's disgusting. Try putting it in your car.
Yeah, try traveling with cheese.
Fun.
It
smells bad, and then your skis make it wet, and then it's foul.
Yeah, somebody shipped me some cheese before, and they got to my crib, and it was functified.
Yeah, it's not a good gift. I'd save that.
Where's the cow?
So it's a really sad story. Okay, so I got the cow. So and in the end, I had to negotiate to get the actual cow, because here's my thing: cows are worth a lot of money. That cow is worth between $8,000 to $10,000.
Okay. And
they were going to give me like a $500 check. I was like, no. First of all, that's a good-looking cow that makes really good cheese. And it's worth a lot more than this $500 check. So I negotiated. I got my cow, and she was pregnant. So I got a 2-for-1.
Look at you.
Yep. And then
yep.
And then my friend who has a farm in Austria, because why wouldn't I have a friend that has a farm in Austria?
Right.
And he said he'd take my cow. So then, of course, cows, they make money off the cheese. So he started, having more cows with my cow. And I had a lot of cows by the end of my career. And then I won another cow later on. So I ended up having like 8 cows.
So Lindsey has a lot of cheese, everybody. Y'all can.
But it's a really sad story. So when I retired, my last year, I called up my farmer friend and I said, hey, listen, I would love to come see the cows. And he said, Lindsey, they only last 10 years.
Oh.
It was so sad. I was so traumatized. And he's like, and also I switched to sheep.
Because they only last 10 years.
Yeah. More money in sheep, I guess.
I've never thought I was going to hear a sad cow story.
Now you're sad. I was sad.
I'm sad.
I know. But there's still one left. It just lives in France. She never went to Austria.
Okay.
Sunny. I named a cow after my sister, after Carr. She did not like that. No, she was not happy.
So how did you deal? Okay. Moving on from cows, from
you asked
from
what
the
kind of
sadness of
prizes I
cows.
won. So
It got real quiet in here.
That is a lot different than what I win.
Like we celebrated our wins, like champagne. You talking
like
about
here's some milk and a fucking cow.
So you really have been in the beginning stages of like building,
yes,
skiing.
Yes,
like you're
exactly.
Yeah.
I definitely
like you're gonna be presenter one day, and the person that you're gonna present it to is gonna be making millions off of the race. You're gonna be like, I had $500 in a cow. What's mine?
Yeah, I don't know if the millions will ever happen, but definitely
more.
We're
gonna put it out there.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I
you
hope
invest
so.
in a team. Can you invest in a team?
You can't. Well, actually, I could. The U.S. team is privately funded, but I don't know. I'll maybe invest in another soccer team.
Okay.
But I'm a mentor. They got plenty of money. They're good. It's more of the prize money. It's not about, so if you give money to the organization, you're helping them with like training and, flights and all that stuff. But you're not actually helping an individual athlete.
Yeah.
Like I need to change how ski racing is in the media, like on TV. Last year, it wasn't even shown on television.
Yeah.
So like, how are you going to how is any athlete supposed to make money if your sport's not on television?
Is it an expensive sport?
Oh, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
And also there's weather, if there's a snowstorm and you can't have a race, that's $3 million right off the bat. Just for one day. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
So there's no basketball games getting canceled.
Well, no.
So,
in the bubble.
COVID. Yeah. You guys made a bubble.
That's
bubble. Yeah.
But indoor. It's an indoor sport.
I know. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you deal with, obviously you started skiing because, something that you and your family did. You end up getting a love for it. You end up becoming good. And then at some point you became like this beautiful skier, Lindsey Vonn. Like, how did you deal with that? How did you deal with that?
It sound like snooty.
How did you deal with that? Like, it wasn't just about your talent. It was also about your looks. Was that a thing?
Yeah. I mean, it was weird. I think it was around the time that I won the Olympics that kind of.
What year was that?
How was in 2010? Like how things kind of shifted in the media, like how they portrayed me.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, it didn't like really help my cause that I was in the swimsuit issue either. But whatever. It's life. I did what I did. Mm-hmm. I don't regret it. But it was like. There are things, like I was on this cover of Sports Illustrated, for example, and I was in a skiing position. And it was it was like a kind of a redo of a male skier who was on the cover like 25 years before that. And all of a sudden I was on the O'Reilly show talking about my sexual position on the cover of Sports Illustrated, which was my ski position. I'm like, why is this a conversation? A man did exactly the same thing. This is my sport. Mm-hmm. Why is this a conversation?
You're right.
Because like I get, there's two sides of it. I get swimsuit and whatever, if I'm in a magazine,
right,
that's that.
Right,
but if you're taking my sport and you're sexualizing my sport, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
And I don't like that, that line got really blurred. And I think that's the only thing that really bothers me was that, like, respect my sport and what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And if you want to criticize me for other things, go for it. But, there's a line.
And you okay with, like, how do you handle that? Like, do you come out and say it? Like,
I don't know if you know me, but I do speak my mind. It's kind of a problem sometimes. I don't really hold back. And I think that's one thing that has both hurt me and helped me. I mean, I am who I am. I've never been shy about, saying if I agree or disagree with something. I try not to talk about politics because I did that once and that really did not end up well. But, I'm always going to speak my mind. So if I have a problem with something, you'll know it.
Oh, well, I know all about it. Bobby, got anything?
Were you always like that? Like, how did that come about? Like, you just starting to speak your mind?
I just think I'm really stubborn. I don't know. I'm stubborn in my ways, and I have energy. I'm living. You ask me how I'm feeling, I'm going to tell you how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I don't see the reason in like holding that part back. I think what I have realized now in kind of this phase of my life is that there are definitely things that I need to just keep for myself and my family. Like I don't need to share everything on social media. Or, say everything that's on my mind, although sometimes I do. Like a little filter, like would be nice sometimes, but I'm not great at that. So I think it's like, I don't know. I don't like hiding. I am who I am. And, I can't change that.
Do you think as you're obviously moving into being a businesswoman, like fully, do you think that you get the respect when you walk into rooms of being a businesswoman, or are you still looked at as this athlete, or you think you're looked at as just this beautiful woman walking in? What do you?
It's really interesting. I think some rooms people have no idea who I am, and I have a normal business conversation, and by the end of an hour, they figure out who I am, and they're like, "Oh shit," But I really enjoy having a normal conversation with someone as if I'm just a regular person, like as I am,
right?
Without a pre-designed idea of who I am.
Yeah.
And then there's definitely people that meet me and they're excited because they think I'm a pretty skier, or just that I'm a skier. And then they realize, oh, I actually have something to say. I actually have knowledge, and I'm, not just a skier.
You have knowledge.
I have knowledge.
Yeah.
I drop some knowledge bombs every once in a while, I mean, again, like I have a lot to learn, but I think, I've done pretty well for myself and made kind of something out of nothing,
Yeah.
In my sport. So
is there anything that you did not accomplish in your sport that now that we're retired, that you sit back and was like, if I would have just...
I mean, there's obviously the record. There's one guy that had more wins than I did, but those records were broken. So
one guy, by the way, not one lady, one guy.
Humble brag.
Yeah, it's one guy.
One guy. I think, I did the best I could. I talked to Roger Federer about this, and it was like, I squeezed the lemon dry. There's nothing left that I could have given.
Yeah.
Did I make mistakes? Yeah. I mean, if I started my career now with everything that's available, I think I would have been able to ski a lot longer because just everything is different. Recovery is different. The way we train is different. Nutrition is different. But I had what I had. I played the cards that I was dealt, and I don't think I could have done more with it than I did. So I don't have any regrets. Life's too short for regrets.
I love that. So let's get to like your life now. Like when I see you now, besides when I see you on private jets, and
you're one to talk.
When
Mr.
I see you on private jets, and and all these commercials and ads and everything, I see you with your dogs.
The only time I fly private is with my dogs.
When you with the dogs.
Like, let's be clear.
That's what I was really trying to get to, but I had to.
You just had to, tee yourself up a little bit, When I fly private, no,
So there's your dogs, your kids.
I would save every penny for my dogs.
Yeah.
Like and it sounds silly, and obviously I would love to have kids, and I will one day. But right now I have 3 dogs.
Yeah.
And they're getting older. One, my oldest in particular. I lost one almost 2 years ago, and it was like so traumatizing.
Yeah.
Dogs they're very special. So I will give every last penny I have to have my dogs with me as long as I can.
Yeah. And do you think they're preparing you for being a parent and learning how to deal with?
Well, if that's the case, I'm screwed.
Well, I mean, they're like kids.
Well, my kids are not flying private, just to be clear.
All right. Well,
my dogs will.
Y'all heard that. Lindsey kids are not flying private.
They're not. I'll tell you that right now.
All right.
Maybe when they're younger and they don't realize it.
Yeah, they're going to realize
it. But as soon as they realize it.
Yeah, they're going to realize they ain't going through TSA.
Oh, yeah. No, they're in the back. Yeah. Like I was. I literally flew to New Zealand next to the toilet in row like 75. They can do it.
Okay.
It's possible. We can do hard things.
All right. But your dogs fly private. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yes,
okay.
obviously.
But your kids not.
No.
And you ain't had no wine before we started this interview.
I had one glass.
So, just for the record to be shown, Lindsey did not want to drink any of my wine because she is in the tequila family and world.
Yes. I'm a Lobos.
She would not.
I'm a Lobos girl.
Yes, you would not cheat on Lobos to drink my wine on my podcast.
You know I love you. And I Wade Cellars, great wine. If I drink wine, I drink Wade Cellars. But I drink tequila. Oh, shit.
This is unfiltered.
This is unfiltered. This is what happens when you have a Wade Cellars, I don't know what that is, motorcycle vest on. That's what happens. You get it all over yourself.
Can I talk about this real quick?
It's a motorcycle jacket.
So when I first got, well, I mean,
Carhartt.
It could be a lot of things. Yeah.
You're rustic.
When I first got into the wine industry, thank you, off-camera towel.
You got it.
Thank you.
We're good.
So when I first got into the wine industry, right? And no, I wasn't even in the wine industry. When I first went to Napa for the first time ever to go and do wine tastings, the first gentleman that I ran into was wearing one of these.
Oh, okay.
He was wearing one of these. He was a black man.
There's a story to it.
Yeah, it was a black man. And you know, if you know anything about wine, especially if you know anything about wine, but if you know anything about Napa as well, like you don't see a lot of black people in the wine.
Nope.
And so I pull up and I'm the first person to open the gate and it's a black man and he wearing one of these. And I'm like, wait, who are you?
Yeah.
And I got a chance to build a relationship with them and all these things. But I say that to say I've always wanted one of these. And so when I started my own wine label, I got me one. See Wade Cellars right here.
I like it.
Yeah, you know, so it's a little branding.
I like it.
You know, a little swag.
No, it's great. Lobo 1707 is better branding, but it's okay. It's a wolf, you know. You get the 3 stripes. That's kind of cool. But
Bob, jump in here because we...
I mean, get off topic.
But so I wanted to understand as far as like when you see another athlete, like y'all both got gold medals. Is it a situation where you see another athlete and it's like in the movie Wall Street where a shark sees another shark? When you see another great athlete, what does that feel like to you guys when y'all see each other?
It's cool. I feel like we're in a club.
Yeah.
I'm like finally at the cool kids club.
Yeah.
You know? Because
it's a respect that we all have.
Right.
We understand to get here what you did to get here.
Yeah.
So we have a respect.
Yeah. I like the respect because it's not something that's given. It's definitely earned.
Definitely.
But it's such a small group of us that I don't know. It feels pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I do. I mean, the ones that are cool.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Let's go there. The ones that are not full
there's
of themselves.
Some that are not. Yeah.
The ones that are cool.
We're not going to talk about those people, but there's a couple that they're in their own club.
Yeah. No,
I like being a part of it. I honestly, I've been it's kind of an individual sport, even though we are a part of a team, but I like being in a team. Club. We're the club of
I mean, it's as simple as when Lindsey and I, as our friendship built was at the ESPYs when we kind of our friendship started to build, and it was really just out of respect. It was like her, I, and Gronk.
Yeah.
We all had accomplished great things in our own sport. Obviously we were moving to something else, but the way you're able to build relationships with people and you respect them is because, one, I knew just from the stuff that I heard about Lindsey without knowing all the things, is I knew I was like, yo, this athlete to do all the things and accomplish what she's accomplished in the sport that she's accomplished it in, like her mental has to you know what I mean? Like I'm already going to her mind. I'm like, yo, her mind has to be so strong. She has to be so this. She has to be so that. So it's a respect that goes into knowing what it took for you to get on this stage where I am. Because I know the dark nights and the times I talk to myself to get on this stage as well,
exactly.
And so, it feels good to have relationships with people that you respect.
Yeah.
At that extreme.
And I think it's also too different generations. Even older athletes.
Yeah.
There's always that level of respect because, again, how hard it takes, what it takes to get there.
Yeah.
So, I agree.
When you are not in a room, what do you want? What do you hope that people say about you when you're not in the room? What are the things that you try to leave behind when you leave a room?
I don't know, just that I left the room better than the way I found it. Like,
So
I always want to be
it was
positive.
hot and it's cooler when you leave? Like, what do you mean by that?
No, I mean, so when I think about my mom, like she was always this, incredibly positive person. It was like this light that she had. And no matter how shitty your day was, she always made you feel better. Like, I want you to feel better. I didn't drink your wine, but
yeah,
I mean,
you ain't
better.
making me feel that. Like, you leaving my office and I feel a little shitty.
I said I drink Wade wine, Wade Cellars. I'm promoting. I always promote my friends. I got you.
So,
but that's what
to make the world a better place.
Yeah, I hope that I left skiing in a better place than I found it.
Yeah.
I hope that I, whatever I do in the business world, same thing. And when I invest in sports, I'm investing mainly in women.
Yeah.
And I want to make it better or somewhat easier for them than it was for me. I don't promote skiing just to promote myself. I do it for the sport. Of course there's our business, but ultimately I want to leave it better than what I found it. And I was inspired by my idol Peekaboo Street, and she triggered that chain reaction of me following my dream. So how many people can I positively affect like she did for me? That's what I want to do. Create a ripple effect that lasts a long time.
A long time.
But you'll probably talk shit about me when I leave, so it's fine.
I mean, I'm definitely going to do it, but I also big you up too at the same time. Like, I'll do both.
I know, it's in equal proportions.
One of the things that actually, how we even get to this point that we're here, is the fact that I remember one of the first, after the ESPYs, one of the first times we talked afterwards, you talked to me about, it was an investment opportunity. I don't know if you remember, and you sent it over like, hey, if there's something that you and your wife want to be. Yeah. I thought that was so cool. It was so dope. It wasn't like you don't get a lot of people who are up and doing something that want you to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Not in the world I come from. Not in sports.
I know, I get you.
Not in the sports I come from.
That's not how that's not how I operate, but I've had that for most of my career. There's been situations where there's been opportunities, and because someone didn't want me a part of it, they shut it down. Yeah. And I never want to be that person.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if there's an opportunity that I can give to others, like I want you on the deal. Like, I want all of us to make money, I want to build something great with new companies or support other people. That's my jam. I'm not like, I don't need to hog everything for myself. There's plenty to go around.
I always say, like, I don't want to eat at a table by myself. It's lonely.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, who wants to be sitting there cutting up steak by themselves and no one to talk to? No one to share things with, none, And exactly. So, like, I want a whole table full of people who...
I don't want to talk to my dogs. Just my dogs. That'd be weird.
I feel like on your private jet, it's just you and your dogs. I mean, I'm just going to leave that where it is.
I don't know. It might be.
Before I get to my last question, you got anything else?
I want to know, just kind of like, now that y'all both in retirement, like, what's like some of the biggest and coolest things you're doing in retirement now?
Man, again, I'm just trying to keep up with him, so it's hard. Literally, I'm still building off of what I started in skiing. I think it's been just this constant evolution of brand partnerships and investments. And I started investing, while I was still racing, but not to the degree in which I would have liked, had I known more at the time. But, it's just like, we're building, I'm building in the investment side. I'm now in a sports fund with Avenue Capital, with Strahan and Candace Parker.
Yeah,
and
congrats
Steph.
on that. Heard about
Thanks.
that.
I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
But it's an evolution of just building, and I don't know where it'll get to. I don't know what my goal is, honestly, ultimately. I just want to make everything I touch better, and then hopefully be able to sustain myself and my kids for a long time, and my dogs, and their private jets.
Only the dogs.
Only the dogs. To be clear,
I would say for me, when I was thinking about retirement, actually Kobe was doing amazing in retirement.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, when I was getting ready to retire, I was like, cool, I'm gonna be able to reach out to Kobe. I'm gonna be able to ask him anything about like TV production, about investing, all the things that he was doing. And he was doing it at the same level that he was playing at. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like he was just doing, he was doing it at the same level. And unfortunately, when we lost our brother, I felt like I became a leader in retirement.
Yeah. No,
for
you are.
athletes.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like
you literally hit the ground running.
the ground running. And
even before that, though, even before Kobe, you definitely were on like a different trajectory, and you've taken retirement to a totally different level.
Yeah.
And I think that's like why, you know, we connect a lot, is because, you know, we see things in a different way.
Yeah.
We want to go to different places. I'm not content with just living off of my accolades. Like, this is great, but it's not who we are.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much more that we have to give and that we strive for. So you have definitely led the way in retirement.
Thank you.
And I honestly, sincerely look up to you. So, but don't take that and run with it.
Well, I've tried, and I felt that. I felt like I know when I was retiring, I needed someone that was doing it to show me, like, man, you could still reach a certain level in retirement, and it looks a certain way, and it, you know, the way Kobe was doing it. And so in my retirement, I've tried to do that. And even if someone reaches out to me, if they don't, I know they're watching.
Yeah.
I know all athletes
Everyone's
are watching.
You.
And so, you know, what I've tried to do is I've tried to continue to push the envelope. I tried to show people that it can look different. It can be different. It can feel, you know, whatever way you want it to feel.
Yeah.
Because like I do all the things. I'm an owner of a team, right? Not an owner. I'm a governor, or not even a governor. I'm like a small
You're a boss.
minority.
Just accept it.
I'm a small minority owner, but I also take my shirt off all the time.
You do, yeah. It's a lot. Sometimes I don't know why.
I mean,
it's like always
off. My
My
algorithm says that if I take my shirt off, that people they gonna fuck with my posts.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot. I don't know. Like, it's like even on the red carpet, just like Dwyane shirt comes off. It's kind of like a thing.
That was a request.
It's like a meme.
That was a request.
Your wife must have requested it.
No.
The algorithm.
Donatella from Versace request.
Well, you probably got to do what she has to say.
She
do
was
what she
a request.
says.
Yeah. But I try to show them that, like, you can do
and be different.
Who you don't have to look like this. Like, I'll throw a suit on and I'll be in this meeting, but also too, I'll take my shirt off.
Your nails look better than mine, so you can do things different. I believe in you.
Yeah, color your hair.
Yeah, do whatever the fuck you want.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
We get it. Yeah, I got you.
Good. So, to get you out of here, when I started the podcast, you know, I talked about the name of my podcast called The Why.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a very important question, especially where we are in life. You are an 84 baby, so you'll be turning big year coming up soon.
We don't need to talk about
We're gonna leave it there. I'm already over it. Like I'm turning 42.
How is it
month.
on the other side? Is it good?
It's great. It's great in the 40s. It's so good.
No one knows that.
84, 2024.
Just
it's
people.
Cool.
Some people can't count. It's okay.
It's cool. You know what? Actually, I have somebody who I work
out.
with that really runs like my business, and she's not a good counter. So I understand.
Yeah, exactly. Just let it go.
So the question is, at this point, you've accomplished so much. I mean, to me and to so many others, you are a legend. And you're iconic in so many ways, and you're doing so many incredible things. But as we sit here and we're turning next year that premium number.
Yes, premium. That's a good way to say it.
That's a premium number that we're turning, right?
Yeah.
Very important part of our life, right? We want to get to that number.
Yeah.
From where you sit here and where you're going before your birthday comes, what would be your why? What is your why going forward? Like, we know your why as a kid, how you got to this place. And once you get to that space, after all the accolades, after all the success, all the business opportunities and endeavors that you're in, what is your why going forward?
I mean, going forward is a hard question because I think I'm still figuring out my why.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am someone that always works hard, and I always have worked hard. I'm trying to figure out, you know, how do I put that into a passion? Because I'm doing so many things, right? And nothing is really engaging me in the way that skiing did. Right?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, but I'm still not going 85. You know, like, investing is fun and all, but like, I'm not risking my life.
Like, wins and investment don't feel good. It's just like, oh, okay, got an email.
Exactly. It's not, you know, you're not getting anything tangible from it, and so, you know, I don't know. I think I'm still in search of my why.
Yeah.
I guess, and I'm actually proud of that. You know, it's an evolution. You know, I'm still evolving. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I don't know where that's going to take me. You know, life is crazy. It can be amazing. It can be very difficult.
Yeah.
But I know that I'm here. I'm enjoying every second. I wake up every day thankful that I'm here. And where that takes me, I don't know.
So do you put pressure on yourself right now to do, to accomplish, to become, to like, or you just riding the wave?
No, I always put pressure on myself. Like if I say I'm going to do something, I expect to do it, and I have those high kind of expectations, but I'm not as self-critical as I used to be.
Okay.
But I'm working on that. That's a therapist question.
That's okay. Once you get to the
TBD,
to that premium age,
what about you? You probably
start.
answered this already in your other podcast.
No one has ever in my other podcast. No one has asked me my why. You're the first person to turn it back on me.
What is your why in your premium year coming up? Premium years.
You know what's crazy? I ask people that question. I never thought about it myself.
Well, I'm here to ask you.
I guess my why, to sum it up and not be long-winded, would be to make sure that whatever I'm doing is what I want to do. And, we go through life a lot, and you have so many people who, obviously there to assist you and help you, to accomplish things you want to, but, you want it to be you. You want it to feel like you.
Yeah.
And so my why every day is to wake up and to find that. Mm-hmm. What is that? Who do I want to be? Yeah. Because it changes all the time.
Yeah.
And so, but I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing in life, that it feels like me.
Yeah.
When you see it, when you smell it, when you hear it, that's Dwyane Wade. And so my why is to find myself from these 40s on.
Don't say that number. I'm premium on.
I'm 41.
From premium on.
From premium
I'm
on.
not. I'm not premium yet.
We're just gonna start saying
to
that.
Be clear.
I'm premium. They be like, how old are you?
Premium.
I'm premium.
I just say premium.
I'm premium.
Everybody,
y'all here right here on the podcast.
We just created a thing.
So, Lindsey, I have this book that was sent to me, and I opened it up very excited. I was like, "Ooh, Lindsey sent me."
Just to be clear, you sent me your book that was not signed also.
Oh, that's what we're doing? Now I know what car feels like.
You need to see me in person.
Now I know what your sister feel like. You tell her.
So now one day when I have a podcast, I'm going to have you on with your unsigned book, and I'm going to force you to sign it on the podcast.
I'm getting it signed on the podcast, everybody. And this is something that I did not bring over here today because you were coming. This is something that stays in my office. Mm-hmm. I got books of great athletes and people that I adore and admire.
I'm sure you
do. So I would love if you would be able to sign this copy.
I will sign my book for you.
I have a Sharpie for you.
It's not in gold? It's kind of funny, wasn't it? No? Okay.
Don't be calling me out like, listen, we okay? We on a budget. Okay. We retired.
Dwyane Wade.
It's in black.
You're so premium. I almost said, I think I should.
We didn't start something on the podcast, baby. I'm premium. Hey. How old are you? Premium?
I'm premium.
that mean we 40 plus.
No, it's just premium plus.
Premium plus. Ooh.
Exactly.
That's a new network.
We just coined something.
We could be co-owners.
If you trademark that before me, I'll be really mad.
Well, let's do it together. Why we
could do it together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Premium plus.
Wade and Downhill Gold Enterprise Inc. We just trademarked it, so you can't steal it. All right, it's done.
All right.
Official.
There we go.
Signed
Everybody
copy.
official. Lindsey Vonn, thank you for being on my podcast.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Love.
Thank you.